Hey folks, Alan Mandic, the Hot Rod Hippie here. In this video, I'm going to show you something that I've been doing on LS engines for years now. I've done a lot of LS swaps on custom cars and trucks, and something I like to do on pretty much every single one of them is change out the heater hose fittings for better ones that fit the project better. If you're in a tight area, really close to an inner fender, down in a frame rail, this can allow you to fit fittings in there where you couldn't otherwise, or it can just give you that clean custom look you might be going for, like these AN fittings that I installed here. So let's go ahead and check it out. This is something I do on pretty much every LS swap that I personally do as a custom car builder, because I'm always looking to have just a clean install and do it the way that I want to do it, not the way I'm forced to do it. You can get away with other setups depending on your budget and your project, but this is really a pretty simple process to do. Now in this 65 GMC that we're working on here, I've got a 6.0 liter LQ4 engine out of a 2004 2500 HD Chevy pickup truck. However, you could do this on various LS engines. This really doesn't matter. The water pump that I'm using on this engine right here is an LS3 water pump that I personally like to install because I like where the water hose outlet is on it compared to the standard truck style one, and it's also one of the shallower ones that's tighter to the engine block for fitting into tighter engine bays. I can't guarantee what I'm telling you here is going to work on every LS water pump. I think like the LS4 is an exception to this, but most of them you can do this with. LS1, LS2, LS3, LQ4, the truck ones, there's a lot of these that this can apply to. There are a couple of tools you're going to need to do this that a lot of people probably don't have. That is a 3/8 and a 1/2 inch NPT tap, meaning National Pipe Thread or National Pipe Tapered Thread, depending on who you ask. Now I have those taps personally, the 3/8 and the 1/2 inch, and I use them primarily for this exact project here. They're handy to have if you're working on custom cars, because when you need to re-tap, say, a intake manifold vacuum boss or a heater hose port, they can be really handy to clean up the threads on those or tap them deeper, as I often do. For this project, we're going to need them for the heater hose fittings. That's really the end of the specialty tools that you're going to need for this project. Everything else is just going to be whatever you can use to get the old heater hose fittings out. You see, the heater hose fittings on the water pumps of these engines are just pressed in there. A lot of the time I'll use like a slide hammer with a pair of vice grips and hammer it out of there, but this time actually went really pretty easy for me. I just used a pair of good Knipex PC10 Cobra pliers to grip onto those things. I spun the fittings around just a little bit in the water pump just to break them free of their connection. Now again, these fittings are just pressed in there, so all you gotta do is break them free and they'll come out fairly easily. I've had some fight me a lot more than others. These came out pretty much the easiest I've ever had them go. Spinning them really helps to break them free, and then I just kind of rocked these fittings out a little bit and both of them popped out pretty easily on this one. After you remove the old heater hose fittings, you just go ahead and tap them. It's pretty straightforward. You've got these two cleaned out holes here. Maybe you want to wipe them out a little bit, get them oiled up and ready to be tapped, but you don't need to drill them at all. They're not exactly the right size for NPT taps of either size, but they are close enough that you can go ahead and tap them directly without having to run a drill bit or a ream through them. Now when it comes to doing this, I've done it two different ways. I do it either mounted to the engine like I'm going to do here, or I've taken the water pump off and done it clamped to the workbench. It really is difficult to clamp it adequately on a workbench and not have anything get damaged while doing so. I personally really find doing it on the engine that you're working on, just bolt it on there good and tight. That's really the best way to go about doing this. However, I understand that you might be in a situation where the reason you're doing this is because you're really tight to an inner fender or a frame rail, and those could get in your way of tapping. I have run into that in the past and it can be a pain. The best that I can really recommend is doing this before you put your engine into your engine bay. It will make your life a lot easier. Now what I think is the absolute most difficult part of this process, the thing that is the hardest to get right when you're doing this project, is making sure that you tap them straight. When you start that tap, you need to be very, very sure that you're getting a good straight tap on it. So I triple check it. I look from every angle to make sure that that tap is running pretty straight into that port for when I start the threads. If you don't make sure of that, your tap may bottom out and not be able to go any deeper before you get good enough threading on it, which would leave you with a leaky fitting, and now you can't put the old heater hose fittings back in. Or you might just end up with a situation where you have one fitting that's slightly askew from the other one and it just doesn't look nearly as nice as you were aiming for. Now once I'm sure that I got the tap started properly, it's time to just go ahead and tap like I would any other hole. Going in a few threads, backing off a little bit, cleaning out some chips. Once in a while, I'll back the tap completely out of there once I know I've got enough thread started into this thing that I'll be able to easily restart the tap back into the hole. And then I'll clean out the chips from the hole, clean them off the tap, just to make sure that I'm not getting anything binding up or tearing up my threads as I'm creating them, or worrying about breaking a tap off in there. The next thing I'm gonna say is kind of an oxymoron, but bear with me. These are tapered taps. That is national pipe thread or national pipe tapered thread. So it is tapered, meaning the further the tap goes in, the greater of a chance you have of damaging or cracking the boss on this water pump. Now, I personally have never had this happen when I'm doing this, and I've done this numerous times. However, I do need to warn you that that can occur. Now, the oxymoron of this here is that you need to run these taps in there pretty darn far. In my experience anyway, with the Matco taps that I own, which I believe are made by Irwin, those taps need to be run in there like 3/4 or 7/8 of the way down the thread of the tap to get these things tapped in there the way I need them to be. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. You need to be sure you're not going too darn deep so you don't bottom your fitting out or crack your boss here, but you also need to make sure that you're in there deep enough. I think that these holes are a little bit larger than the threading of the tap actually requires, so you really got to tap deep to get good threads in there to grab onto with the fittings. Personally, I always tap NPT deep, and that's actually one of the uses that I have for NPT taps, is I will actually tap, like if I get a new Edelbrock intake manifold, I'll tap the threaded ports into them deeper into the manifold so that I can get my fittings deeper in there. I don't like installing tapered pipe thread fittings into something and seeing half the fitting sticking out. I want to see it buried down in that hole for a cleaner look on the project. And that's what I'm aiming for here as well. Now, both of these holes are accessible through the thermostat housing opening, so you'll be able to clean the chips out afterwards. Be sure to do that. You don't want to have water flowing around with chips of metal tearing up your water pump or the seals of your water pump over time. Once I have those holes tapped, I'm ready to go ahead and install whatever fittings I choose to use in there. Personally, I'm using NPT 2AN fittings for this project. On this specific project, I've got the firewall mostly shaved. I have all the plugs welded in, but I don't have them ground and finished off quite yet. I'm doing a dedicated video on that process. But I'm gonna be installing this AC bulkhead fitting that I picked up just off of eBay. It's a cheapy one that I picked up, but it has a nice look to it and it'll work for my AC and heater hose plumbing. I'm gonna be installing that into the firewall of this project where the original heater plumbing would have gone, but just cleaned up. I filled that in, welded in a plug so that I can go ahead and install this exactly how I want. Now, if you're doing this for clearance issues, you can install some 90-degree fittings in there. These two fittings are pretty close together, so that can be difficult to do. You're gonna have to figure out what's gonna work for your project. And of course, since these are pipe thread, you need to install Teflon tape or paste onto your fittings before you install them into the ports. You might notice that my two fittings don't match in this water pump at the moment. It's because I can't find the second fitting, but I intend to go into this. The black fitting is just a temporary one I mocked up in there to show you folks what I'm talking about. That's gonna come out of there, and the proper fitting is gonna go in once I locate it in the shop. Nah, I'm sure none of you can relate to that, can you? Meh. Now, I'm going to be doing dedicated videos based around the custom wiring that I'm going to be doing on this engine, this LS engine from the folks at PSI Conversions, and the custom fuel system plumbing that I'm going to be doing from the folks at Red Horse Performance. So please consider getting subscribed to keep up to date with those videos. Thanks for coming around, folks. I hope you found this video interesting. Please drop the video a like if you did. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. What did you think of this video? Is this a technique you're going to use on your LS swap? Let me know in the comments down below. Get subscribed to keep up to date with all the Hot Rod Hippie videos and those LS videos yet to come. Thanks for coming around, folks.